listening to the Best Small Business Podcast, where we deliver powerful insights, breakthrough ideas, and simple solutions to make your business unbelievably successful. I'm BJ Flagg.
And I'm Rich G, and this is episode 184, Get Ready for the Summer Tsunami.
Yes, we are going to turn the light on Rich today. Rich wrote the best article, which he prompted me by sending me an email so I'd wake up and go read it. Let's get him to elaborate a little bit more on this amazing topic. What's next?
Well, this is something I've been talking to a lot of my clients about, and I've been kind of warning them and telling them that we've been in a global lockdown for over a year. And
yes.
Yeah, but things haven't stopped. But there's been a cumulative business anxiety level that's impacted everyone's growth potential.
That is so right. And, even though these businesses have posted gains, there's this weariness of what's next for the next 12 months.
Yeah. And there's a light at the end of this long tunnel. And that's what I'm predicting is that once the population is vaccinated and we see a dramatic drop in cases, the clogged pipe, and it's probably a different analogy, the clogged pipe of consumer enthusiasm is going to open fully. It's going to explode.
Yeah. And, what will happen? We're hoping that we can kind of predict where we're going to experience unbridled consumer and business spending into the marketplace.
Yeah,
So,
we've been subsisting on minor changes and improvements for over a year. And now businesses will be forced into a normal or even heightened competitive mode. And the opportunities will be endless. Don't look at this as a problem. There are opportunities out there.
Exactly. And, consumers are just going to throng to products and places long closed from their reach. They're going to have a pent-up dollars and enthusiasm to get back to normalcy of their lives and that they've been missing for so many months.
Yeah. So what does this mean for you? We're going to try and get you to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. So I'm going to ask him a couple of questions. Let's get him to dive deeper into this article that he wrote, which, by the way, you can see on richg.com. So go scope it out. He's got an amazing article base. So first question, are you ready, Rich?
Yes.
All right. What's the first thing we need to do?
I have no idea.
Very good. Very good answer. Give it to me.
I think it's time to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time. We're still getting vaccinated. I think about 20 to 30% of the population is vaccinated.
Yeah.
This is the time to start preparing. Look at your business and understand how you're going to break out ahead of the competition. It's kind of like a race. You're getting a head start. You're giving yourself a head start right now. How do you put plans in place, technologies in place, things in place to get you out ahead of the competition?
Love it. Now, if you were going to, I think the next thing that kind of rings for me is, why don't you talk to us about your marketing direction? Like, what do you feel a small business needs to do next to really get themselves into this ready mode you're talking about?
Yeah, understand your clients and customers are going to be excited. They're going to have this pent-up enthusiasm, and they need avenues to apply it. So you need to get out your message to your key targets for your business and give them that avenue, that outlet for them to spend money, excitement. If you have a clothing store, a new line of clothes. If you've got, if you're an architectural firm, a new type of building or new designs or something like that. Get people excited about your business. Don't just put out the same old stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to be excited. You need to be excited.
It almost sounds like you're saying to them, go outside your comfort zone and really look at things from, understand that you've been very careful creativity wise. Now's not the time to be that.
And BJ, that's the number one thing you do with your clients is you get people to step out of their comfort zone, branding wise and marketing wise, because that people are invariably not the best salespeople, especially about themselves and their business. And you get them, you've got to step out of your comfort zone even more and really get them excited about things.
Cool. Now, we're talking about them. Let's talk about our customers. What do you think we need to be cognizant of? Obviously, we've been all in a pandemic, but we maybe have not been in the same pandemic.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about customers? What do we need to be doing?
Well, the first thing is, what are their new needs and concerns now that it will virtually be over? And I really focus on the word virtually. It's not going to be just all roses and flowers after the last person's vaccinated. It's going to be a changed atmosphere and environment. And you need to understand what are their new needs and concerns moving forward. There might still be, if you have a brick and mortar, you might still need certain behaviors or certain things, precautions that you need to play with. Or what are their new needs? I mean, one thing that's gotten huge is Instacart. It's like people want home delivery. They like home delivery. I'll pay the $10 for the home delivery. That's fine.
Exactly. Like one of my clients said, "Oh, you can take that curbside service thing off, our byline now." And I went, "Oh yeah, I'd hate to wake you up there, but that's staying."
Yeah.
That's staying.
Yeah. Liquor store curbside delivery. Oh my gosh. It's incredible. It's like, well, first of all, sometimes I'm just picking on liquor stores, but you go in a liquor store, you're looking around for new wines and stuff. But 80 to 90% of the time, you know exactly what you want. I want this. I want this. Why can't I just get on an app, order it, and I pull up and do it?
Yeah. And, we have a fantastic store in town, Shilala. And I literally, it's kind of a real whimsical store. I go on the website, I order my items, I go drive in the back. It's a drive through. So I just drive in, text, zip, the little girl comes out, drops off the bag. That is the end. No, that's not disappearing. Cannot disappear.
Yeah. A big one that I've talked to a number of my clients is McDonald's, because when I go through, I'm trying to get a quick meal or something. I'll actually use the app. Because, and this is an interesting thing.
Interesting.
If you go into McDonald's, have you ever used the kiosk? It's awful. It takes you 15 minutes to order your food. Yes. And because the interface is like very alien. Yeah. But the app is like, it always is the same look. So I know how to order what I want. I can reorder my favorites. And here's the best part. They give me coupons and deals like free fries and that sort of thing. And all I do is park in a spot. They come right out 2 minutes with my food. Ooh. Why would I not want? And I see all these people in a drive-through, and I'm getting served way before them.
So that's interesting. I didn't realize that was what was happening. You're in this inside crowd, the VIPs.
Yeah, okay. VIP. And I save money. I don't have to get out of my car. Right. I don't have to. It's all charged to my card, and I get free food.
Love it. I know you're back to traveling a little bit, so you're probably having to experience this.
Yes.
Let's get into this last question. I promise. Last question. You are such a techno nerd. And I know every single time we get on, we talk about actually technology before we ever start getting onto our podcast. What technologies you think are changing the landscape? Like,
absolutely. Well, the first
not just focusing on things that are going to stick around, but other stuff too.
Number one, and this is probably a very obvious one, webcam communication.
Right.
For your business, you're going to be communicating more often with your clients and customers via webcam.
Yeah.
So don't have the cheap, crappy webcam that comes with your laptop. Really spend money on, if you want, get a Logitech 1080p, or even I push for a DSLR camera
Yeah.
that with good lenses. If you do a lot of interaction, training, business training,
Mhm.
conferences, I honestly think conferences are going to morph into attending a conference or virtual.
Yeah.
And I think more companies are going to go, why am I going to spend $10,000 to send one of my clients halfway across the United States for a whole day? I'm sorry, a whole week,
Right.
when they can attend the conference from their desk. So,
Exactly. We had one client who used to have lunch and learns, and they get about, 25, 30 people. And they would get some sales out of it. So it was a very good thing that they did. So
yeah,
they had to go virtual. They were getting 300 people on their virtuals,
yeah,
and they do a lot more business. That's not going away. That's a good one for not going away.
yeah. So webcam communications is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Second, I think more layered presentations. If
Ooh.
you do proposals, if you do pitches,
Uh-huh.
if you do any kind of presentation, it's not your dad's PowerPoint anymore,
Yeah.
is it?
And what we're seeing a lot of is video in the presentation, along with slides, along with demonstrations of graphics and graphs and charts and such. But they're much more layered with copy and visual.
It's
Very
fully,
different
yeah,
feeling.
it's fully understanding the parameters of having lots of things happen in your presentation, but also if you're, again, going back to webcam, doing a webcam and having the presentation behind you,
Yeah.
having it to the side, doing things like that. There's
Right.
communication in the last year has accelerated 10 years.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And they've gotten easier. They've gotten more dynamic. It's just an exciting time for that type of work.
And this
Um,
leads me to my last
Give
thing.
it.
You're probably not going to like me, but this is a reality.
Okay.
Um, we're all living in Amazon time. And what do I mean by that? If you have
Yeah.
Prime, you get your packages in 1 to 2 days. And everybody that delivers something to a customer is going to recognize that if your competition is delivering it faster, they're
Right.
going to win out. People are living in Amazon time. You need to start looking at, how can I present my services and my products in Amazon time
Well,
faster.
yeah. How does that translate to when you're doing contracts or proposals and stuff?
Yeah, that's a big one. I actually had this conversation with a client yesterday on, they were saying it takes them about 5 to 7 days after they meet with the client to deliver a proposal. And
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
no, that can't happen. I go, you need to turn it down 24 to 48 hours,
Yeah. So
because
that was a bit of a comeuppance.
people will go somewhere else. They'll just, they're getting, multiple proposals, and the one that gets them it the fastest, I'm not saying it's a race, but it really is a race.
Yeah.
That's showing the customer that I care about you. Going 5 to 7 days, 2 weeks,
Not happening.
that means I don't care about you.
Right.
And people's perception of time. Let's just look at cars, buying a car. It's like
Oh
the
my
whole
gosh.
idea of going to a car dealership, taking it for a test drive. It's like now Tesla, you buy the car online and they deliver the car to your house.
I know, really. Really amazing.
They deliver it to your house. You get to check it out. They walk you all around, and it's done. It's all done online. So
Yeah. So it's definitely a brave new world out there. Well, thank you, Rich. I really appreciate it. I'd love to hear what you think a good resource would be for everybody today.
A great resource is a book that I just listened to on Audible. It's by one of my favorite podcasters, Scott Galloway.
Love
and
him.
He's just great. He's on the Pivot podcast, and he also has it's called Prof G podcast.
Love
He's
it.
outrageous. He's great. The book is called Post Corona: From Crisis to Opportunity.
Ooh, I want to read it this weekend.
Yeah, it's
such a good one.
He said the COVID-19 outbreak has turned bedrooms into offices, pitted young against old, and widened the gaps between rich and poor, red and blue, the mask wearers and the mask haters. Some businesses like the home exercise company Peloton, video conference software maker Zoom, and Amazon woke up to find themselves crushed under an avalanche of consumer demand.
Ooh, that is so true. It sounds like such a good one. He's a New York best-selling author. So this is definitely one everybody should catch and start getting it going.
Absolutely. And that's it for today.
And big thanks to our speaker today, Rich G, for sponsoring our podcast today. It's just amazing to get to talk to somebody who I talk to all the time, but to get to share with you some of his insights in a more deeper way. So
absolutely.
Just had to say it. Thank you. And that's it for today. We want to thank our producer and our editor, Richard Scalzo, the man who makes everything happen, bringing you the best small business podcast every Tuesday. Have an unbelievable week.
Catch you later.